Bam! Hate. It's useless and I tell you now why. So let's go. I structured this video into 4 parts. It's about first the Jedi, or the Jedi Code better, from Star Wars, pretty cool, watch it. Then second point, the duality of hate and love. After that, of course, we talk about God, but every religion is just some kind of philosophy, so stay tuned. And at last we talk about the social picture. This is one of the most important topics, so I put it in the end. But without further ado, let's go. I hope you all know the quote from Yoda, that anger leads to hate and hate will lead to suffering. But what does he mean with suffering? That we actively call out negative emotions even when we only hear about the person or topic. That all the hate we deliver will backfire someday. Maybe he talks about that when we hate, to express love, it's pretty difficult. Maybe you could compare it to a drug addict who teaches you about not doing drugs. That's not really what a person of authority should do. So yeah, if you want to talk about love, and I think all of you want to do this, because this is one, if not the main driving factor for human existence, then reduce the hate to a minimum that you express to do. But other thing I thought immediately about the Jedi is that hate is an extreme. Hate is more than anger. Hate is more than dislike. Hate is more than distaste. Feel hate, you can't go any stage higher. Maybe it's a maniac, psychopathic maniac who just wants to destroy everything associated with it. But I hope you are not that kind of person. So hate is an extreme, and extremes are not only the path of the Sith, but also very often lonely, but also on the extreme, on the verge of insanity. And I don't want to live on the edge all the time, or even sometimes. I may choose between the edge of happiness and the edge of hate. I would much rather choose to love instead of hating, and thereby suffering deep through. Suffering in all the remorse I feel, and all the negativity I portray. And because they're on the opposite ends of these extremes, there's a duality between love and hate. And this question you may ask it yourself too, but is there love with hate? Can we love also hating someone? And my answer to this is yes, we can. Because love is stronger than everything. Hate can't even it out. Maybe hate the progress, we may still love it to do, because we know that in the end we achieve something which is very good for us. Maybe we perhaps hate the person, but we still don't wish him death, kind of thing. Maybe it's a bit extreme, but we love this person even though we hate it, that we won't wish him death. Probably. Hate is holding you back to endure and succeed in things you may pose as a hurdle. I'm saying here that hate may also be just a reflex of ourselves trying to avoid the uncomfortable, by just shutting ourselves up to the new things and hating it. We may never really experience the joy which comes with it. If you want to start eating with chopsticks, yeah, maybe you say you hate it. You hate that you can't pick up a damn piece of chicken. But maybe someday, maybe you just need a few minutes to try. But eventually, you learn to eat with chopsticks, and it's amazing. Just with 2 wooden sticks in your hand, you can eat. Hate makes you blind to the important things in life. By entering the rage of hate, you may stop seeing the light. Maybe you're so distracted by hating something that you forget to love your dearest next ones. And this happens, and it's not only scary, but also cruel. And when we talk about cruel, we eventually talk about God. And I wrote a poem about this topic called it the armored archer. I think you could interpret it as to hated love. Water pouring onto my skin. The sun has been dimmed by a dark cloak of clouds, and while rod shouts, I raise my bow, steady as the ground below, aiming at the Aether, the quiet peacemaker. I let go of this arrow, all my burdens I drowned in sorrow. But now I am free. The arrow shines so bright. It has chosen to be hit by God's delight. Do with this whatever you want to. I don't care. Okay, back to God. God wants us to love, or rather God is the personification of love itself. If you follow my beliefs, I think Spinoza, a philosopher from the 1600s, called that God is just Mother Nature. But for the matter of this video, we just associate God with love. And when you believe in any kind of religion, you know that in the end they just want you to live a happy life. And when they want us to love, I don't think they also want us to hate. But to be exactly, it's not only religion. It's every philosophy. I couldn't even find one philosophy which said that we should hate. Some say we should oppose. I think everybody says we should oppose something, but not hate. Because hate is such a strong emotion, as I said before. You won't be satisfied in your life, you only suffer. But if this didn't convince you, Yoda, God, then maybe it's your social picture, because actually in psychology, others portray what you say. Maybe it's about others, but they portray this unintentionally on you. And that's quite insane. If you say often that you hate this and you hate that, then they will eventually think that you are a person who's really hateful. And maybe slowly but steady, it will form a sort of distaste. People will start avoiding you because they think you are such a negative person. And a little side note here, I think we all talk a bit too much about discomfort or hedonism, but not much about love. And it's quite sad. But okay. Hate also influences our future relationships with a person. An example, let's say we hate the chef of our work, but he actually thinks that you are great to work for us and thinks about giving you a pay raise or even elevating you to a more coherent position in the company. But then he hears the rumors of you hating him, and he doesn't want someone who hates him near him. No one wants. So yeah, you could just ruin your better life by hating. And I didn't even talk about your inner state, peace of mind. And philosophy actually concerns much about inner state and peace of mind. And hate is just a big rock in the way. But I think you already got that by the Yoda quote. So let's move on to my last points on the social picture. You frame yourself with the belief of more toxicity in the world, and the perception of the world becomes so worse. I'm saying that if you're hating much, because I think everybody has sort of this taste and gets someday to extreme, and that's perfectly normal and human. But by hating, our perception of the world shifts till it eventually becomes so dark that we can't even see the light. A hateful person won't ever see the shining light of this beautiful world as someone who doesn't. So in short, hate leads to suffering, so don't do it. Remind yourself that even in darkest places there's love, and maybe try to raise this love. Every philosophy tells us to love, live a virtuous, good life. You shouldn't hate and only oppose. And by saying negative stuff, other people will think you're a bad person. It could ruin your future, and overall the world seems just a more unhappy place. So give it your heart and share it to others. Don't give in to hate. and goodbye. Live a happy life.